It was a veritable three-for-all here at TD Garden as the Celtics beat the Milwaukee Bucks in a thriller, 117-113. My name is Mike Petralia. This, of course, is Josue Pavon. Josue, we saw some history here at TD Garden. 24 of 55 is what the Celtics were from three-point range, the 24 three-point field goals, a new franchise record, blowing away the previous record of 19, and that was nearly done in 3 quarters of play. Kyrie Irving finishes this game with 28 points. He goes 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. What do you say about the Celtics' three-point shooting in this contest?
Wow. A lot of weapons, Trags. A lot of weapons, a lot of outside shooting, a lot of guys who could knock down those shots. It was incredible. It seems like every year this record continues to get broken by a Brad Stevens-led team, of course. And one thing that I have to point out is the fact that the Bucks nearly came back in this one. I mean, let's face it. We're not going to be able to say, oh, yeah, they can do that again, down the road at some point. That's probably not going to happen again, and the Bucks still hung around. I think this team is a legitimate threat for the Celtics. I mean, looking down the road, I'm not going to start talking about what's going to happen in the course of a 7-game playoff series, but I will say this, though. Defensively and offensively, on both ends of the floor, these guys kept up with the Celtics.
This was Milwaukee's first loss of the year in 8 games. They are now 7-1. The Celtics improved to 6-2. The Celtics at one point were 24 of 50 in this game, but they missed their final 5 three-pointers, and that is why the Bucks were able to mount that late charge. They got to within 1 point. Malcolm Brogdon missed 1 of 2 free throws, or this game would have been tied with about 12 seconds to go.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making threes at such a high rate, the way the Celtics were, it's hard to not shoot more threes to close out your opponent, and that's exactly what we saw in that fourth quarter. Smart plays by the Celtics, of course. Some not so smart plays by the Celtics that opened this thing up for the Bucks. I'm talking about that big steal towards the end of the fourth quarter that gave the Bucks a chance. I mean, Bledsoe didn't come through with those 2 free throws, which would have completely changed the complexion of this game. However, the Celtics did manage to hold on, and it is something to be said when you see someone like Gordon Hayward put together the best performance of the season. When you see someone like Kyrie Irving, again, almost hit that 30-point plateau like he did, which, of course, made the difference in the fourth quarter of this game. Those guys, the Celtics can rely on them in the fourth quarter, but they have to be careful in terms of taking care of the ball. And, of course, throughout this 5-game road trip that starts in Indiana on Saturday, they have to make sure that they sharpen those things up on the offensive end.
Thank you for correcting me. It was Eric Bledsoe, not Malcolm Brogdon, who missed missed one of the two free throws that would have sent this game to overtime. Let's talk about the electricity that was in the building. The world champions were in the house, the Boston Red Sox. And they are actually celebrating still and meeting and greeting here on the parquet after the game. But during the first time out in the first quarter, it was Alex Cora leading a parade out onto the parquet of his world champion Red Sox. David Price, Chris Sale, J.D. Martinez, all of the stars here to really celebrate what was an incredible World Series run. And to see Alex Cora in the middle of the timeout, or toward the end of the timeout, go over and congratulate and meet with Brad Stevens, I thought that was a great touch, too.
Yeah, I love seeing that because we saw what Brad Stevens said throughout this entire playoff run, how this team was following the Red Sox, using them as an example of a team that obviously has a lot of weapons, a lot of different guys that come up big in big moments, very reminiscent of the kind of culture that Brad Stevens has implemented throughout this Celtics team. And you see that throughout the entire playoff run. And to see Brad Stevens and Alex Cora embrace at half court was very special. To see Alex Cora get the crowd going, doing one of these and getting everyone to get even louder, this place was really rocking. And it seemed like they didn't stop cheering even when the game returned. They were still cheering for the world champion Red Sox team, and it's, of course, well-deserved.
Really, really was. It was a special night here at TD Garden, and the Celtics celebrated by setting a franchise record, converting 24 three-point field goals on the night in an electrifying 117-113 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Inside TD Garden, he is Josue Pavon. I'm Mike Petralia, CLNS Media.